let this run on your mind like a slogan that I have to be content and make everyone else content. So you see that it looks very simple, sounds very simple, and sometimes, we think that, yes, of course, that's my aim, to be content and to make the other person content. But you have to check for yourself whether that is so. Because you see that whenever we come into an interaction, if you deeply check the intention, it is not to be content and make content. It is always to, to emphasize that you are right and the other one is wrong, or you are better, or, something like that. And this is why, in relationships, we are seeking this, through this whole phenomena, we are seeking to feed our ego through relationships. So, we want to feel superior, we want to feel that I am better when you come into interaction with another person. And how do you do that? By creating complaints about the other person. And I always tell that there is this beautiful and easy method that, just in your mind itself, you accumulate the mistakes and weaknesses of the other person, and in your words and in your attitude, bring them out. And in doing so, you're magically feeling superior, because in order to feel superior, you don't have to be superior, you just make the other person inferior. So we are doing it in our minds, we are doing it with our words, we are doing it in actions. So, if somebody is talking to you and you are giving them an attitude like you are not even worthy of my listening, you're not even worthy of my attention. So that's also, an attempt to reinforce your supremacy, because the only way to feel superior is to make the other person feel inferior, or at least in your head just hold that one is inferior. So when we come into relationships, this is the game that's going on. And Baba says, what should be your aim? The aim should be that I have to be content in every relationship, and I have to make the other one content. And the catch is, despite everybody's sanskars. So, everybody has different sanskars, and in my own journey, I feel that it is very difficult to understand anybody's sanskars. So, some things you cannot understand, some things you have to just accept because of knowledge. And when Baba says that, even if according to you somebody's sanskars are very bad or very wrong, you don't have the right to label it. And you just know that this is their sanskar. And Baba says that when you see somebody's sanskars, don't create discontentment within you. When you say, I don't like it, I can't live with this person, I don't like the way they operate, I don't like the way they do things. So what are you doing? You are creating discontentment within yourself. And sometimes you are in a position where You can choose who to be with and who you don't want to be with. But sometimes you're not in that position, and many a times you're not in that position. And then if you just uh, if you just refuse to accept the other person's sanskars, if you just refuse to accept that they are who they are, then what happens is you keep constantly creating discontentment within yourself. And also, you start making the other person discontent because you're constantly rejecting them. You're constantly looking at them in that manner, or you're looking down upon them, or you are rejecting them with your words, or you're just rejecting them with your actions. So if they are talking, you are not listening. If they are asking you something, you're not replying. So all that is an expression of how you make the other person discontent. And Baba says, you see that in this we need to understand that it may or may not be possible to ensure that everybody is content with you. Maybe somebody is not content with you, but Baba is asking us to deeply check whether it is something that I am doing which is causing discontentment with the other, or it is am I creating discontentment for myself. And usually, when you have lack of swaman, when you are insecure, then you will not make an attempt to be content with the other, because your sense of self and your sense of security will always lie in pulling down the other. So, being content with the other is very easy. It's very easy because it's just one thought away. So, they are who they are and they are respectful despite everything. So, that's the kind of attitude you can have and create contentment very easily. But why are we not able to do that is because there is a lack of swaman and there is a lot of insecurity within. And you want to play this game where you want to reinforce who you are by pulling the other person down and always saying that this is the reason for my troubles, or I don't like what they are doing, or it is their actions, their words that is causing me discontentment. This is the language you speak when you are not full inside and you want to just operate through ego, not through swaman, and you want to feed your ego by pulling the other one down. So this is something. And then second is making others content. So in very simple things you can make others content. So you don't have to give in to the bigger ones. So let's say somebody is demanding money from you, or somebody is demanding a lot of time from you. Okay, maybe you are not in a position, or you don't feel that's the right thing to do, so don't do it. It's not like you have to cross the lines to make someone content. But the thing is, it is not about money or time, it is always about love and respect. So, if even if somebody is demanding money, or even if somebody is demanding your time or energy, you give it in a measure that you feel is right. But don't go overboard with that. But maintain that attitude and that drishti of love and respect. And always maintain that don't speak words or don't create thoughts which put the other one down. And respect in relationships, regard in relationships is the only method to make someone content. And if you look at it, what does anyone want? People want regard. So, people want to be felt heard, felt seen, felt recognized, felt appreciated, felt respected. And if you don't give them that, then that's going to cause a lot of discontentment. And sometimes, we say that it is about money, or it is about you not giving that person what they are asking. But okay, it on the face of it, it may look like that. But the thing is, because you have held it in your awareness that this person cannot be content, or this person's only aim is money, or this person's only aim is such and such a thing, so you are not giving them the regard or the acceptance or the love. You've withdrawn that energy, and that is the basic reason for discontentment. So even if you have to say no to a person 1,000 times, so let's say somebody is being very demanding, and somebody is being very, and people can be demanding in many ways. So people can be rude and demanding, people can be sorrowful and demanding. So that's their sanskar, they can put in their demands the way they want. But and you may have to say no 1,000 times, but don't let your drishti that this is a soul and this is worthy of love and respect go away. Don't give them what you don't feel you should give them, but give them what they deserve as a soul. And every soul deserves love, respect, and words of kindness and words of dignity. That is something that every soul deserves. And I think that if you just gave that regard in relationships, you would make everybody content. But it's very difficult to give regard. Why? Because you can only give what you have. If you don't have self-respect, how can you give respect to the other? Yes, so the thing is, if there is lot of lack of self-respect, and how do you build self-respect? You build self-respect through Raj Yoga. So the more I consider myself to be a soul, and I stay in relationship with Baba and fill myself with Baba's light and might, the more I follow Srimad, that is how I will have more and more self-respect. And when I have that kind of self-respect, then I will be able to make the other person content. I'll give you an example in this regard. So there was this one, when Prakashmani Dadiji was the chief of Brahma Kumaris at that time, there was this one brother, and he was a big dignitary in the world, and he came to Gyan Sarovar, that campus we have in Mount. So he came for a program to Gyan Sarovar, and when he was entering, the brother who was in charge of guarding the gate, he did not recognize him, and he started questioning him about who he is and what is the purpose of his visit and other stuff, which is regular inquiry. But this person who had come with prior intimation, he got very offended, and he started shouting badly, and he started saying that how dare you question my authority, and I have come on invitation, and how can you ask me these questions, you need to verify from inside, and this and that. And at that moment, Prakashmani Dadiji was, there in the portico. So she was there around, in and around. So she heard that these people are, there's raising of voice and all that stuff. So she went, and in a second she said sorry. So she said, I'm sorry for all the inconvenience that was caused, and this brother was not informed, and you brother, please come in, and we invite you with a lot of love, and we welcome you with a lot of regard, come in. So, in that moment, that brother just kept quiet, and he couldn't believe that, Dadi ji could come and say sorry. The first word that Dadi ji spoke was sorry to that brother, and he couldn't believe that, she was the head of Brahma Kumaris at that time, chief administrative head, and she's old in age, and she's learned, and she's knowledgeful, and she's a yogi. And Dadiji didn't take 1 second to say sorry, and that is what melted his heart. And he was very well behaved for the whole of the conference after that. So you see that he got contented. So he became contented, because how do you make other person content? Not by giving them something physical, but what does the soul need? The soul needs to feel that I'm heard, I'm accepted, I'm respected, and if you can give that sign. And sometimes, when people have, we souls have had a long journey, and 63 births, we don't know where we have been and what we have done, and it's all there within us, and we don't even know what we are carrying within. So all of that burden of sins that we are carrying, sometimes, even if you extend love and regard to somebody, they might have a sanskar of mistrust, and they might start blaming you that, you're being very selfish, and you have some selfish interest, and that is why you're being polite and sweet. And maybe they also start saying that, they also start throwing tantrums that if you're being sweet, then let's say how sweet you can be. So all of these things will happen because, the whole internal fabric of the soul is very damaged. But Baba says that just continue to give love and regard, come what may. So and Baba doesn't tell us to give extra energy or time or physical resources to somebody. It's okay if you don't, if you have something else to do at that time, you can just do what needs your attention. It's not like you have to cross the line or go overboard, but maintain that love and regard. Don't let that wipe out from your heart. And whenever you talk, whenever you listen, whether you say yes, no, whether you give in to whatever they want or not, don't give in, that's okay. That's something that you have to decide second by second. But don't let that drishti, that this is a soul, a worthy soul, and don't let that attitude and expression of love and regard go away. So this is something that we have to hold, and staying contented in every interaction and making the other person content should be my aim, should be my slogan. And just like, you have to remember, Baba says that sometimes there are boards on which, there are running slogans. So the slogan is running and repeating. So Baba says, make your mind like that board, and make this slogan run on your mind like anything, that I have to be content always and I have to make the other one content. But for that, you need a very good foundation of Raj Yoga that Baba is teaching us, because only then we will have self respect. And when we have self respect, we will not demand respect, and we will not withdraw respect. So when you have self respect, you don't demand respect, and when you don't demand respect, you cannot feel insulted. So you will always be content in every relationships, because there is no expectation, so there will always be contentment. And the next thing is, when you have self respect, you can give regard to anyone at any time in the face of any behavior, and that will ensure contentment in the heart of the other also. And this is today's teaching. And then Baba today talks about enlightenment, and in Hindi Murli it is Roshni aa gayi hai. And I felt this was very interesting today, that Baba says, now you are enlightened. And you see that when the light of knowledge enters the consciousness, yes, so when the light of knowledge enters the consciousness, then your perspective, your attitude, and your actions change. So there are 4 words. It is consciousness, it is perspective, drishti, perception, and then it is attitude, and then action. So it is the consciousness which determines what you see. So you see that if I give you the information that the person you're going to meet today is a very big surgeon, yes, so what will be your perception when you meet that person? So you will have a lot of regard in your perception, because you will hold them highly, and you will see them like somebody important and somebody knowledgeful and somebody worthy. And then what will be your attitude? You will listen to them very ardently and eagerly because you want them to speak about something that can help you stay healthy, and you want to get some tips out of them. And how will be your actions? So treating them respectfully, or listening to them patiently, or even giving them gifts, or pulling out their chair, or something of that sort you will do, because that's in your awareness that this is a very big doctor or a surgeon. Now you see, similarly, what is it your awareness about who you are, or who do you belong to, or who are the people around you, or what's going on? All this is a matter of consciousness. And if you look at our course, the course that we undertake when we come to Baba, it's all about shifting your consciousness. So Baba is changing our awareness of who am I. So Baba is changing our awareness of who am I, from I am a limited body to an unlimited soul. And Baba says that when this light enters you, so you see that I remember there was this one Mata, and she told me a very beautiful experience. She told me that she was a very big Shiv Bhakt before coming to Gyan. And Shiv Bhakt means she thought that Shankar is Shiv, But anyways, that was the bhakti she was doing, and she felt she was a really truly by heart Shiv Bhakt. And then one night she was sleeping, and there was a big function at home, so many of them were sleeping on the floor. And on the floor, when she was sleeping, there was something that was crawling up her leg. And then she asked somebody to switch on the light, and then they discovered it was a snake, it was a cobra. And when they discovered it was a cobra, so they tried to kill it. So they were all scared, and they thought that this has to be killed. But this Mata, because she was a Shiv Bhakt, she said, no, the cobra won't do anything to me, because this is sent by Shiv Baba, so this won't hurt me. So she very lovingly shooed away the cobra, and she said, I was all of 17 years of age at that time, and I don't know, I never felt threatened by the cobra. And she said, that was my love for Shiv Baba. Of course, I thought that, Shiv Baba has a snake around his neck and other stuff, but now I understand, no, Shiv Baba is a point of light. But that was my level of bhakti. So you see that consciousness can shift your attitude so much. So even your attitude towards a snake, which is considered poisonous and harmful by most, you can have a very loving attitude, very accepting attitude towards that snake, because that's your consciousness. So it's all about the consciousness. It's there is no objective reality. So if you talk about the truth or the reality, so there is no objective reality on which everybody will agree. So there is only subjective reality, and subjective reality is subject to consciousness. So whatever is your consciousness, so is your perception, so is your attitude, and so is your action. And Baba says that I am trying to bring you there where this light enters you, that you are a soul and you have all relationships with me, and you are carrying a burden of sins of 63 births inside you, and now it is the time to finish that burden of sins by remembering me and go back home with me. So when this thing enters your intellect and it starts shifting your consciousness, then Baba says you will be able to live in the household like a lotus, and you will be able to focus on creating your burning your sins and creating your stock of punya karma, rather than getting entangled in the I and mine of the household. So where you live is not the problem or not the matter. It is your consciousness that is the problem or the matter. So just think about it. You live in the office more than you live at home. Yes, but in the office you don't have attachments. So it's not about where you live. It's about your consciousness. You go to office and there you think this is my colleague and we don't have a relationship, it's just professional, it's just professional. So when you have this in your consciousness, then your attitude is that you work with them, have tea with them, talk to them, share with them, do everything, but you're not attached. So Baba says that it is the consciousness that matters, and now you have to become soul conscious supreme soul conscious, and time conscious. And when you become all of that, that is called being enlightened. And when that light enters you, the light of knowledge, the light of awareness about who you are, who you really belong to, what time it is, and what we need to do to go back by burning our sins, when that light enters and you are enlightened, then you automatically start behaving in a manner which is very different from how the world is operating. And Baba says that that is the basis of your stage, that is the basis of your feelings, and that is the basis of your actions. And Baba today says that, you have this super sensuous happiness which nobody in the world even understands. So, people are knacking their brains and trying to figure out why are these BKs so happy. But Baba says you have this happiness which is coming from this enlightenment, and this knowing that I am a soul, and this knowing that the one who is almighty belongs to me, and this confidence which comes from following Shrimat, that I am following Shrimat and I have nothing to fear and I have nothing to lose, and there is God's hand on me. That is what people are not able to understand. And you see, there are many incidents where people are not able to understand what is making you so happy. And there's this little girl, she's all of 14, 15 years, and she comes to the center every day. And people who see her parents and everybody, they are saying, why do you go there? Maybe they are hypnotizing you or they are, throwing some charm on you, or they are alluring you, or maybe you are doing some wrongdoing. So, every day they have a different accusation for that girl. And she says that, I don't know, but I just feel happy when I come here and I feel the peace. And that's what brings me here, and I carry that within myself. And they are not able to understand that this is the reason why I am pulled. So Baba says that nobody will be able to understand, but it is your enlightened state which makes you feel differently, makes you behave differently. And without enlightenment, without this light of knowledge entering the soul, even if you try to imbibe what Baba is saying, it would be very difficult. So, if you try to detach in relationships without this light entering, that these are not my, so and so, they are just souls on a journey, and the only relationship we ought to have with them is that of love and respect, not of attachment and fear and insecurity. So if you don't understand this in the consciousness level, it is very difficult to bring it about in operation or in action. So this is today's Murli. Om Shanti.